So my name is Leslie Perez, and my co-presenter today is Elena Gonzalez, and we are crisis counselors with the CCP. And today we're going to talk to you about managing stress and building resilience. So before we get started, I just wanted to kind of give you a little bit more information about myself and how I manage stress. So I'm a crisis counselor with Texans Recovering Together. And three ways that I like to help manage my stress are to practice yoga. I like to do yoga a couple times a week. I try to set aside 20 or 30 minutes just to do some basic yoga and relaxation. I like to cook. I try to cook at least one meal a day. Being in the kitchen and making a meal for my family is just really relaxing for me. And then I create some time for my own personal relaxation at the end of every day. So once my daughter has gone to bed, my husband and I actually both try to kind of take a little bit of time to ourselves, just like 30 minutes. And I might watch a show that he's not interested in and I can't watch while the baby's awake, or read a book that I'm interested in. So just something to kind of unwind on my own at the end of the day.
Hello, my name is Elena Gonzalez. I am also a crisis counselor. And three ways how I manage my stress. I like to paint and listen to music for when I just need some alone time and I can just kind of decompress and not stress about things. I also like to spend time with my friends and my family if I just need to get out of my own head and kind of socialize. I like to do that as well. What is stress? Stress is a state of mental or emotional strain or tension resulting from adverse or very demanding circumstances. So I'm sure you're very familiar with stress. I feel like everybody is. And later on, we're going to talk more about the causes and the effects of stress.
So resilience is the capacity to recover quickly from difficulties, whether that be physically or mentally. And just like with stress, we're going to get a little bit more into resilience a little further into the presentation. And we're also going to give you some tips on building your resilience. So jumping back into stress, Elena's going to pick up.
Yeah, so there's a lot of causes of stress. These are just some of the more common ones. Work and school is a big one, trying to meet those deadlines, trying to turn in assignments or what have you. Family or relationship issues, that's a more personal cause of stress that can kind of bleed into those other areas of your life. Taking on too much, lack of confidence, procrastination, those three kind of go hand in hand. Maybe you are putting too much on your plate and it's very overwhelming. I know whenever I try to take on too much, I almost don't want to do anything because there's just too much to get done. Financial stress, especially with COVID, some people have been losing jobs or anything like that. That is a big cause of stress. Unrealistic expectations, whether you're putting those on yourself or others are putting those unrealistic expectations on you. Health problems, maybe that uncertainty of your health, or if you have to take off work because you're sick and you don't have any more paid time off, that circles back to financial stress as well. Sudden life changes, losing job, going through grief, moving, going through a divorce, having a baby, like anything that is sudden can cause a lot of stress as well.
So when we are talking about the common effects of stress, we want to remember that stress presents in many different ways, and no one individual is going to react to stress the same as another. We're all unique individuals, and so we will react differently. We're going to take a look at the different ways that stress can affect our mind, our body, and our behavior, and what the most common symptoms that people experience are. So first we'll look at our mind. So our mind can create anxiety, restlessness, lack of motivation, a feeling of being overwhelmed, sadness, and depression. So your mind can really kind of pull you in and pull you under when you're feeling stress. And then your body starts to react. And so that could present as muscle pain, headaches or more frequent headaches, chest pain, fatigue, upset stomach, trouble sleeping. And with trouble sleeping, what a lot of people may not realize is that stress can cause you to have trouble falling asleep, but it can also lead to having trouble with sleeping too much. So, and then that can play a big effect into our behavior. So some of the ways that our behavior might change under stress is we might under eat depending on our relationship. Some people are emotional eaters and will eat more, and some people kind of shut down and lose their appetite. Angry outbursts or just reacting too quickly to a situation. Social withdrawal, excess procrastination, where we wait too long to do anything and then we're running around at the last minute and now we're creating more stress for ourselves. Nervousness and fidgeting, and then alcohol and drug abuse. So those are all different ways that we can see stress present in our lives. And then when stress is left unmanaged and unchecked, it can lead to bigger health issues like high blood pressure, heart disease, obesity, diabetes, and more frequent colds. And I know, like in times right now where we're all worried about COVID, the last thing that we want is to pick up more health issues. So we really want to find ways to manage our stress, because letting stress become overwhelming can make it harder to deal with minor stressors, such as a cold.
So we have another discussion question for y'all. What do you think are some ways that building up that resilience can help you manage your stress? So building that resilience is a skill that you can learn and sharpen at any time. So whether you're 15 or you're 50 years old, putting those steps in motion can help you further on in your life. So coping with stress in a positive way is known as resilience. And just like how not managing your stress has negative health benefits, having that resilience has positive health benefits. So it's associated with your longevity of your life, with lowering rates of depression, and you have a greater satisfaction with life. You know, when you're not so stressed out all the time, you have more time to be grateful for all the happy times in your life. And likewise, a lack of resilience means that you may not handle stress well in difficult situations, or maybe there's a situation that happens where in any other circumstance it wouldn't have been a big deal, but with everything going on, it feels like a huge weight on your shoulders. And not having that resilience can lead you to develop chronic stress. So when you wake up in the morning, your first thought is, oh my gosh, I have so many things I have to do today. It kind of helps eliminate those feelings.
So now we're going to talk about some tips for building up our resilience. The first tip that we have is practicing mindfulness. So mindfulness is a state of open, active attention to the present with no judgments. Stress raises your body's fight or flight response hormones, and being mindful can help lower those anxiety levels. So an example is like just taking a moment to step back, maybe when you're feeling stressed, and not reacting to the stressor immediately. One thing for me is sometimes people will come to me at work and they might have like 6 things that they all need done right at this moment. And that's a little stressful for me. And rather than jumping to my first reaction, which might be, oh, hey, I'm one person, I try to take a step back, and just be like, okay, I can manage this. I'm present in the moment and I make a plan and go forward. So it's just taking that kind of moment to ground yourself and be in the moment and not think about maybe the 10 other things you need to get done, along with the new stuff that's presented to you. Another way that you can build resilience is by practicing gratitude. So acknowledging the little joys in life and being thankful for the powerful impact that they have on your emotional well-being. Again, like something I like to do and a great way to practice gratitude is taking a little bit of time at the end of the day when our minds start to wander to the rest of the day and we might be thinking about all the things that we have to do tomorrow that we didn't finish today, or the meeting that didn't go the way we wanted it to. Rather than letting those sit on your mind and be the focus of your evening, try to think about maybe 2 or 3 positive things that happened that day for you. So I'll try and think about like a meeting that did go well, or maybe I talked to a coworker and we had a great chat session about a presentation coming up, or I reached out to somebody who was in need of services and it had a really great impact on my day. And I'll take a few moments to just be grateful for those things and remember that all these positive things still exist in my day. So even though I was maybe a little bit stressed, I still have a lot of positives I can look at, rather than focusing on those stressors and those negatives.
Exactly. And building a support system, having those people close to you that can be a shoulder to lean on, or somebody you can go to for advice if you're feeling extremely stressed out. Getting that outside perspective from somebody else can really help you work through a situation that feels very overwhelming to you. Um, it can also be a way to help keep you accountable if you are not managing your stress in a healthy way. Maybe you're extremely stressed out at work and then you get home and you go for a drink. And maybe it starts off as once a week, but then it turns into every single day. Having somebody there that's in your corner that actually cares about you and cares about your well-being can help you redirect that into a positive way to deal with stress. Having that sense of self-awareness. So some people can handle a lot more stress than other people can. And knowing that boundary of what is a healthy amount of stress, so you feel motivated to do things, and that overwhelming stress where you can't catch a break almost, is very important to be able to manage your stress and learn to be resilient against it in the future. So that is all we have for you today about managing stress and building resilience. But we did want to take some time to talk about our program, the CCP, the Crisis Counseling Program. We are a program that is funded by a grant from FEMA in response to COVID-19, which allows us to provide certain services and to the community for free.
That's right. So some of the services that we are able to provide to the community for free are presentations like the one that we just gave. These presentations can be individual or group presentations. We meet with a lot of different communities in places like book fairs, festivals, food banks, and job fairs, just to spread awareness of the program, because again, it is free. We're funded through FEMA. And so all of the services that we provide to you are free. And we do presentations on all sorts of life skills. So coping skills, dealing with grief, stress management, like we just did, healthy habits, anything that you can think of that might pertain to kind of your current life situation, or if you're an employer, your employee situation, we can provide a presentation on for you. And so with that, we want to open up for any questions, we'd be happy to go over any questions you have and discuss them with you.
Hey, Leslie, how would a member of the public contact the crisis counseling program?
So we have two ways that you can contact us. We have our team lead if you're looking for a presentation like the one that you that we just gave, or if you want to have us come out and set up a booth or be part of a program or anything that you're running. And we'll be providing that information momentarily, but I'm going to pull the screen up now. So you would contact our team lead, Lauren Mitchell, via phone or email, and just let her know that you enjoyed this presentation and you want to have another, and maybe give her an idea of the subject, or if you're not sure about the subject, you can always ask her, hey, what are some subjects that you could provide us with? Because we have a really long list of presentation availability. And then we also have the free COVID-19 mental health support line. So if you are an individual and you are just needing extra support, or maybe you know somebody who needs support, because this is for the entire community. So even if it's not you, say it's your neighbor or a member of your church, you could give them this number. It's 24/7 and it's 100% free. And this will connect them with a licensed professional to help them get the help they need. And it can also, they're able to connect them with professionals in their community for ongoing care and treatment.
Yes, so we're
okay.
also available on social media. We post daily, and it's kind of, tips like stress management, coping skills, dealing with grief, that sort of thing. So you can follow us if you would like on Facebook, Instagram, or Twitter.
And then the very last piece of information we have is a survey. What you see on the screen are the QR codes. If you open your camera and you hold it up to the screen, it'll open a link for you. But Elena is also going to provide links in the chat that you could use to do on the computer. We absolutely love feedback and hearing from everybody who watches the presentation or is present during the presentation. So feel free to fill out the survey for us and just let us know how you think we did. We'd love to hear from you. So, and that's it. We want to thank everybody for being here and thank everybody who watches it in the future, just for sitting back and taking it in. And we hope that it helps you a little bit more with your stress management and building some resilience to that stress.